Hello everybody! For the better part of a year, I have been closely involved in making a video game. And finally, we can talk about said video game. But before we do, we need to take a little detour and talk about my history in trying to make video games. So, from the top. Back in January 2024, with help from my father and other developers, we tried to build a multiplayer, quote-unquote, social hub style game with as many references to Reekid in it as we could muster. The first ever game mode we made for Project Regame was a build-up style tag game set in a maze. Upon playtesting it, we found quite a few things. None of them were good. Not only was it, well, incredibly boring, but we completely botched a good chunk of the multiplayer syncing, which caused major issues for tag detection. You know, you put your hand in someone and it phases through them and nothing. You know, the typical. Around this time, I started to, well, publicize the fact that we were making a Reekid game. This publication started with a GoFundMe I was hoping to use to build a solid foundation of funds to, well, hope the game What is this? What the Oh, it's a blade of grass. A solid foundation of funding on this project would help us get two things. One, a programmer, someone who's well-versed in actually translating the bullshit we come up with into a digital format. And two, an artist, someone who can just, you know, be artistic. And that wasn't spelt with a U. Not only this, but also to generally just inform the public that Reekid was in fact making a game. All this combined with the playtest results made a few things become incredibly apparent to us. The game was too easy to replicate in already existing VR titles like VR Chat and Rec Room. The game was incredibly hard to get consistently functioning between all clients. Again, syncing issues for those who aren't technologically inclined. I just put my hand in a cactus doing that. And three, the game, it wasn't very fun. Mainly, the last point stuck out to us a lot. Well, obviously, it's criminal to have a game not be, like, fun. It's borderline criminal for any video game to not be fun. So we, had to make a decision. Do we either, A, brute force the game to completion, knowing full well that even after release, it would be, boring, or B, pivot to a game concept that is actually fun and interesting. Judging by the title of this video, you know which one we chose. And quickly, before I continue, if you donated to us during the time of the GoFundMe, please watch till the end of the video, where we tell you how you can get yourself a free copy of Killdozer for supporting our previous projects. So, back in 2020, before Project Regame was even a thought, my father was building a Killdozer simulator inspired after watching a documentary on the Killdozer. He managed to complete a replica interior cab with projectors outside the viewports to simulate what it would have been like to be inside the Killdozer. Years later, Whistling Diesel had built a real Killdozer. This made him realize something. Everybody who's ever seen the story of the Killdozer wonders one thing. How difficult was it to actually operate the Killdozer? So one night, Dad tells me about his idea for his fully physics-based simulated Killdozer game. And after watching a couple documentaries on the story, we knew what we had to do. So, we assembled a team. Meet the local bogan, Undead Pet and Zoo, Dad, aka the Golden Tracksuit, and myself. Between the knowledge me and my father had gained from a year of learning game design and production, Bogan's incredible talent when it comes to everything, programming, animation, and 3D modeling, and petting zoos, real-life access to similar vehicles to the Killdozer, the progress started shaping this game into a truly one-of-a-kind experience. So now, after a full year of development, we're excited to announce that Killdozer launches on Steam March 1st. If you've ever wondered what it was like to operate the Killdozer, now you can find out. All the controls and locations are one-to-one replicated in VR to give you the true experience of what it was like to operate the Killdozer. Upon launch, Killdozer will release as a single-player game in a pre-alpha state. We are at the point where we need as much feedback as we can possibly get from the community. Not only feedback, but ideas really help shape this game to something fantastic. So, join the Discord below or on the card right now to help shape this game into something spectacular. Later down the line, there will be multiplayer. in the form of Killdozer versus the town. One player in the Killdozer battles 8 other players who are trying to block in the Killdozer with cars and other weaponry found across the map. The 8 other players must disable the Killdozer before the Killdozer destroys all their targets or every player is eliminated. And Killdozer versus Killdozer, probably the most self-explanatory: outposition, outgun, outflank, and outwit the other player before they can do it to you. This game could not have been done if it wasn't for the aforementioned team. Dad for his ideas, development skill, and shoving a metaphorical stick up everyone's asses to make sure this game got adequate dev time. Bogan for his genuinely incredible game development skills, able to take any of our ideas and perfect them digitally. Petting Zoo for his works on our socials, audio, and overall morale. And you, yes, the viewer, for allowing me to pitch you a game about destroying everything. This truly is a dream I never want to wake up from. If you are a donator to the Reekid game finalization GoFundMe and want to secure yourself a copy of Killdozer, please email reekidofficial@gmail.com, this email on screen, using the same email you used to donate, along with the receipt of your donation. We will send you a code for Killdozer no matter what you pledged. This is our way of thanking those who financially supported us during the development of any game that we've tried to make. On top of that, look around in the game. You just might find your name hidden in the world. If any of the gameplay you've seen interests you, please be sure to wishlist Killdozer on Steam now. It helps show the right people this game and lets you know when it finally goes on sale March 1st. Also, join our Discord. This game ultimately is being made for all of you, and we need anyone with cool ideas or feedback to come forward and post everything. And finally, make sure you follow our socials to keep up to date with anything new we post about Killdozer. Okay, that's all. Bye bye!